So YouTube, it's me again on a Sunday. Actually in the process of changing the oil on a 2016 Porsche E-Hybrid Cayenne. I honestly wasn't going to do this video, but the last couple days I've been trying to do some research to get some information, and it's been really hard to obtain. So, again, my motto, why not take this opportunity to perform an action and hopefully benefit someone around the world. Now, again, I mentioned this is a 2016 Cayenne E-Hybrid. I bought this vehicle because I actually commute about 68 miles to work one way. And so I do have an electric vehicle, but unfortunately, this is the first company that I've worked for that doesn't have electric chargers, and it is in the city. So I decided to purchase this. Again, I was one of those people that, either you go hybrid or, you go electric or you go gas. But after owning this, if you ask me which one I'd rather own, a Tesla or Porsche hybrid or any type of hybrid, I'm probably going to go hybrid. The benefits of owning one of these is fantastic. Obviously, it's an expensive vehicle to own because I do have a Porsche model and they do have cheaper hybrid models. But the clear fact that I can charge this on the go, right? I can get on the highway, either put it in sport mode or put it on e-charge. In the city, I can go full electric. And then, my gas mileage, this thing I think is rated like something like 417 horses. I'm still getting 32 to 38 miles. I've gotten as high as 46 where I've recorded it. And then because I live so close to the city and virtually getting into the city is all downhill, I use nothing, and I can actually go grocery shopping all electric and not use any gas. So, this thing is phenomenal. But obviously, to keep it running, you have to change the oil, and that's what I want to do. So this is the 3.0 V6S. It is supercharged, and they do recommend for Porsche applications to use Mobil 1. So I will be using Mobil 1, full synthetic, and I use triple action. That's the route I go. I go high mileage, triple action. And so again, this isn't like, for all intents and purposes, on how to change the oil. I'm assuming if you're watching this video, or if you've watched other videos, you've changed oil on previous cars in the past, and so this car is no different. This is just kind of just to point you in a direction of some of the things that you need to look into when you are changing the oil. So, obviously this is the oil filter housing. This is the cap. And so one of the things you want to make sure you do with this is every time I take it apart, I clean it up. And so when you see that O-ring inside, that's actually going to come, one of two O-rings that are actually going to come with your new filter kit. Typically I go 10,000. I was looking for a Cayenne, which is what I typically utilize, but unfortunately I need this car tomorrow, and Amazon couldn't have it to me in time. So I went to AutoZone and I read some reviews on this STP 10,000 mile filter, which actually, looking at it, I actually may like it better than the Cayenne. And I know some of you are going to oust me for that comment, but the filter itself is actually put together pretty well, and the reviews it got are pretty good. So one of the first things you want to change when you take off that cap, and again, not in this order, the filter I typically take off after I've drained it. So the first step for me typically is to relieve pressure after I've let the vehicle run 3 to 5 minutes and remove the cap. That way the oil can drain freely. Then I actually prop it on some rhino ramps, and then I do the oil drain plug and drain it its entirety into an oil pan. And so then the cap comes after that. But for all intents and purposes, you want to make sure every time you change this out, you put that seal in there so it can seal properly and there are no leaks that will occur. The second seal is actually, you'll see, I've already installed it. And I like these also because they're red, which means you can see them. I actually just pried off one that was black and it was so hard to see, but you can see the second O-ring is going to go at the top of the cap. And again, you want to make sure that every time you do this, you change that. And so I don't know if you can see, but this almost, you know, the filter honestly, you know, is put together pretty good. I don't know if that's like a cork or wood or whatever, but it's something compressed, and it actually is really nice. So I'm going to try this out. The reviews are pretty good. It was only 10 bucks. The Cayenne is double that at 20, and you only get 10,000 miles. So at the end of the day, you know, you're getting 10,000 miles no matter if you spend 30, 40, 50, or 10. And I opted to spend $9.99 at AutoZone, which was pretty good. So that's what I got. Now, when you're also doing this, that splash pan at the bottom, or that drip pan, you actually have to remove that. So there's going to be 10 bolts there that you're going to have to remove. It comes out relatively easy. I use an impact, but you have two options. You can either use a 10 mil or you can use a T30 Torx. Okay, and so my recommendation to you, especially since this is the bottom and it hits water all the time, you go with the 10 millimeter. The Torx do strip themselves out. Lastly, you want to make sure, Porsche tells you that you have to replace the crush ring as well as the oil plug every time that you do an oil change. Unfortunately, I was unable to get an oil drain plug, so I'm going to be reusing the old one, but I did get some new crush washers. They're relatively inexpensive. You can get copper crush washers for like $3 at Advanced Auto. Just make sure you get the right size. Again, I had them look in their computer, and twice they gave me the wrong filter, I'm not blaming them. It's probably in their computer incorrect, but they actually referred me to the wrong crush washers, which are probably for either the diesel model or the V8. Just make sure that you get the correct components before you take this thing apart. So climbing up under the car, this thing takes 6.8 quarts of oil. And again, I use Mobil 1 European triple action. Your preference, that's on you. Last thing, okay, before I get up under the hood, you have to remove this. You want to have a wrench that's capable. So I have an oil filter nut that I purchased, and it is right here. I actually got this on Amazon. I paid like maybe $4 or $5, and it's a 36 mil. I can actually use that on my Volvo as well as the Porsche. So you just want to make sure that again, you have something that can get in there. If you have like a deep socket for like an impact set, that'll work too. But me, all the same, I just rather have the right tool. And again, it was only like $5 or $6 on Amazon, and I needed it for multiple cars, so it just made sense to go ahead and do it. So the last thing before I let you go, again, this isn't a tutorial on how to change the oil. This is just what to look for in a 2016 Porsche Cayenne SE E-Hybrid. And so if you can see here, that's your oil drain plug. Let me give you some more light here. That's your oil drain plug. Again, Porsche does recommend that you change the crush ring as well as the drain bolt. And you want to torque that. I believe it's a 22. I want to make sure I get the right information, so hold up on that. The one thing that I don't like about this, and I don't know how Porsche does this, but if you see here, you know, the oil drips all over the place. I have not figured out a route appropriately with this or my navigator to prevent oil from hitting that subframe. So the only thing that I could do, to the best of my ability, I always use a drop cloth. But then secondly, I put like a plastic bag or a garbage bag over there to kind of minimize it. And once I remove that garbage bag, then I wipe it down with some engine degreaser or some brake cleaner. So that's the only thing that I can tell you that I don't like about this oil change process. It does get a bit messy, but you know, you definitely want to be wary of that. But you know, it's just like any other oil change when you think about it. These are for a 2016 Porsche Cayenne S. This is what you want to look for to actually perform that oil change. And again, some of the numbers that I found online, I don't know if they're accurate to this. It's real hard. I think the closest I found was a 2012. And so I believe the recommendations at that point were, let me see. $22 foot-pounds for the oil drain plug, and for the oil fill cap they want 19 foot-pounds. Now, my engine oil light, I think I told you this thing does not have a dipstick, so the level indicator is actually inside on the scrolls. You're gonna have to go through the screen. This will tell you if you don't put the right amount, but I do know with the filter it holds about 6.8. The other thing is you want to make sure you have a tool in the event that your oil reset light comes on. My oil reset light is not on. Again, I change it every 8 to 10,000 miles, and I do a lot of highway driving. But there is a tool that I was able to purchase that actually worked out really good and was very inexpensive, and it allowed me to change all the service lights that come on with this vehicle, so I don't have to take it to the dealer, which saved me a lot of money. And so I actually purchased this on eBay. I'm not even sure if I paid 65 bucks for this. I mean, this is a good tool. So you want to go Icarsoft. I actually have several of these. I have one for just about every vehicle that I've owned in the past. Just never got rid of them. But this right here, it'll allow you to change everything for that Porsche. So you see here, it cleans, it gives you data, ECU diag, oil and service light resets, everything. So, and this is relatively expensive, even at full price. I don't think it's more than 200 bucks. So this is a must-have if you own a Porsche vehicle to save yourself from consistently going, because you know the brake light sensors go, your service engine light is going. So just save yourself some time and go ahead and invest in one of those. So again, thank you for everyone who subscribes. Thank you for everyone who views my content. Again, I'm just a regular Joe, out here just trying to help people while I'm helping myself. So thank you for all that you've done. I just ask that you continue to support me so I continue to make some content like this. And thank you for your time.